Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I don't look cute, and let me adjust y'all. I don't look cute at all. I'm in the hospital because, well, first of all, welcome. Hey, as you can see by the title, it's getting crazy up in here, and I hope y'all can hear me because there's this air vent thing that's blowing air because I have COVID and they want me to have fresh air in my own air unit and stuff like that. So basically, I am pregnant with baby number 2, and it was completely a shock. It was not planned, but here we are, and we're dealing with the cards we are dealt. However, I just want y'all to hear the story and how it happened and all of that. So I feel like it was kind of like an episode of I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant. So weird. But I was having back pains like right here and rib pains like right here. Sorry when I'm wrong. And so I decided to go to an urgent clinic once Nick got out the hospital with all of his symptoms that he was having with COVID and just being hospitalized and sickle cell and all that stuff. Because I didn't want to be hospitalized while he was, because then my baby's out here with people getting passed around, this and that, and I don't want to do that. So I went to this urgent clinic that had said that they had x-rays, because I was like, I need to get looked at because the pain was just weird. It wasn't like unbearable, but it was definitely weird. So I went, and they're like asking me all the regular questions. What are my symptoms? How long? This and that, just regular stuff. And so they were like, when was your last menstrual cycle? So I was like, June 7th. And it was July 8th at the time. And so my period is usually always on track, like always. So I was like not super nervous because it was a day or two late, but when I woke up that day, I was like, okay, nothing. Okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on this, because it was the 8th, so it was like 2 days late at that point. And so like I said, my stuff is sensitive, but it could be up to like 1 or 2 days late. Like I could have had it later on that night for all I know. And so they were like, when was your last period? I told them, and this one nurse was like, your period's like, you pregnant? And I'm like, no, I'm not pregnant. Like, no, I ain't pregnant, nigga. And so that was it. And so then I peed in the cup, and because you have to pee in the cup before you can get x-rays because of my pain or whatever. And after that, I was on my way to the x-ray thing, and a lady was like, are you pregnant? And I was like, no, I don't think so. And she was like, do you want to wait until your results come back? And I was like, I probably should, just in case, even though I'm not pregnant. And so I go back to the room, and I'm sitting there, and it was probably like, and me and my mom and Nick were making jokes, like, if she come back and she say this shit positive, and I'm pregnant, I'm beating them up. Like, it's gonna be a problem. Like, talking all kinds of mess, you know. And so the doctor comes in, and he gets some hand sanitizer, and he's like moseying around, and he sits down in front of me, and he's like, so your results came back and you are pregnant. And I was like, what? And I wanted to be like, oh no, oh hell no, like no, like I wanted to be like that, I ain't gonna lie, but I didn't. I held it together, and yeah, so that was pretty much how that happened. And he's like, you didn't know? And I was like, no, I didn't know. He's like, how long? Sorry, Nick called. But I was like, well, I just had a period, and I'm only like 2 days late, so I guess like 4 weeks, because when I was pregnant with Stink, Xavier, my first child, my son, my period was 1 day late, but I knew, because I already knew like what had happened between me and Nick. Like, we planned it. Like, we was like, okay, this gonna happen. And it just happened the first time. My period was late, and I already knew what it was. So yeah, so I knew like I was 4 weeks, because, you know, it was 2 weeks before that time, but the day that you actually conceive, you're already 2 weeks pregnant from there, because that's just the way that it works. And so I already knew that. He was like, okay, well, we can't do the ultrasound because you can't, I mean, not the ultrasound. We can't do the x-ray because you can't have an x-ray while you're pregnant because of the radiation and whatnot. So I was like, okay, so what are we doing? And so he had already drew blood at that point. So he was like, well, I did check your, no, he was like, so we're just going to let you go home. That's what he said. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll just go home. Even though I'm like, this pain is weird, but I'll just go home. And so he was like, okay, I'm going to get your discharge paperwork. So he left. And then he came back and he was like, sorry if my eyes be looking cockeyed. It's mostly because I'm like looking at y'all, but I'm looking at the camera. And see, like right now, I look cockeyed, but it's really not. But so he had left and he had came back and he was like, so unfortunately, we did see that you have blood clot. Well, some kind of signal in my blood that says that I could possibly have blood clot. So he was like, he just happened to look at that. And that's how I ended up. Basically, he was like that they don't have the proper tools. So they admitted me directly to the hospital. So between getting admitted, him telling me I was getting admitted and actually being to the hospital, I had first called Ashley. That's the first person I called. And so I told her, and I was just like, what am I going to do? Like, I can't believe this. Like, what the hell just happened? Like, this is so unexpected. Like, I'm only 23, and I'm about to have 2 kids. Like, I know it's still a 9-month span, and anything could happen in the meantime, but, I mean, I'm always going to think, like, everything's going to be fine. So, it is scary. I'm not going to lie. I'm scared. I'm in the hospital right now. Like, I haven't even got to see Nick since I told Nick. I ended up calling Nick after that, telling him. He was shocked. I mean, don't they always act shocked, even though they be knowing what they be doing, you know? But, yeah, so he was shocked. Then I called my mom, and she was shocked, and it was just a lot from there. Like, we was just all like, what the hell? Like, wow, like, this is really happening. Like, what? Wow. And the reason why I'm making the video here is just because, like, I like to keep y'all updated, like, freshly when it happens. And it happened yesterday, so it's very fresh still. But, yeah, so after that, they ended up admitting me. Well, trying to admit me. So they moved me to the hospital, but all the rooms are full because everybody freaking got COVID right now. So I had to wait, like, in the emergency room area with the, they transported me via, like, EMS. So I'm with the EMS guy. We're talking. He was so cool, y'all. Like, I was telling him, like, I feel like he would have a girl when he finally has a kid. And it was just really cool. Like, that's, I guess, for another time. But that was my first ride on the ambulance by myself. I was very glad that I wasn't in excruciating pain. Like, I was in pain, but it's like, in pain, and then on top of all this, like, I would have really been nervous. So, you know, yeah. But after that, they ended up getting me to an ER room. No pillow, no blanket. I'm so glad that I had told Nick to bring me a blanket. So I was decent. Asked them for a pillow. They're like, it's hard to get pillows over here. So I'm like, okay, how's it hard? Like, it's a hospital. Go to another area and get me a damn pillow. But they ended up never coming to get me a pillow. But they took a whole bunch of different blood work, and they decided they wanted to do an ultrasound on my kidneys and my gallbladder and my uterus and things like that. Everything came back good. No kidney stones, even though if you know me, you know I always think I got kidney stones because I had them at one time, and I feel like they never went away. But I guess they ended up passing or just dissolving or something, so that's good. And then a few hours later, didn't get checked on, nothing. Ended up asking them for some food because I only ate. I had went to the urgent care at 12. By the time I was at the hospital, it was probably like 5 or 6. They fed me at the urgent care, but it was disgusting. It was like a pot roast, but you know they don't add no salt. It's like hospital food, so they don't add no salt, no pepper, like nothing. And so they had brought me a little lasagna, little lean cuisine. It was actually really good. I was satisfied after that. I tried to go to sleep, but I didn't have no pillow. Then I got this thing in my arm. Then I got the heart monitor. The blood pressure thing, and the thing on my finger for my pulse and my oxygen and stuff. That stuff kept beeping, so I ended up cutting it off. They came in, looked at me like, girl, what? And I was just like, I had to cut it off. It's beeping for too long. Because you know in the emergency room, they don't be caring. They'll just wait forever. Like, they will not come check on you. But this was my pillow. I folded it up. I had a little sheet like this on that the ultrasound lady left me in there on accident. I think it was there to cover my legs, but she did the little inside ultrasound. And then around 2 o'clock, they swing my door open. I'm like looking around like, what? And she's like, we're moving you to another area. So they moved me to the women, children, infants, the newborn area wing of the hospital. Not newborn, but like that, yeah, like labor wing of the hospital. And everything was cool after that. I mean, they didn't tell me nothing. I had no news. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know that my ultrasound results didn't have nothing. I didn't know that my blood results didn't have nothing. I'm asking the nurse, like, do you know anything? She's like, I can't tell you anything. I'm like, okay. She waits. I'm getting close to my room. I was like, you don't know nothing? She's like, I can't tell you anything. The doctor has to tell you. Like, repeat the same scripted thing over and over. I'm like, all right, that's a bit. Don't let me find out where you stay, you know? But anyway, I'm just playing, y'all, by the way. But after that, I was just in there. I went to sleep. Everything was cool. Woke up like 7 o'clock because, you know, they come in and out like every 3 hours or so. I ended up getting moved to the COVID unit of the hospital because I have COVID. And they end up running more tests, taking more blood. I had a little Band-Aid here, a little Band-Aid here, but you be looking dramatic when you keep it on, you know? Like, I don't want y'all to think that I'm, like, dying. So, I took all that off. The food is disgusting here. I got a CAT scan because they thought I had the blood clots in my lungs. I don't have the blood clots. They just said that it was hazy, like in my right lung, and that he thinks it's a mild version of pneumonia, or it is a mild version of pneumonia. So I have a little inhaler, and just like they want to treat me for like breathing, stuff like that. There's not really much they can do. I did ask about antibiotics. I think you're supposed to be on antibiotics because it's like a bacterial infection, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, so that's pretty much my diagnosis. Everything else came back great. I'm actually really healthy other than that, which is so weird because like I was healthy before I had COVID, so it's so weird to me that like COVID is doing all of this, but it's normal, I guess. They say that you can get pneumonia with the COVID and a lot of other things. Blood clots comes with COVID, a lot of stuff. So I'm just happy that I ended up going to the doctor when I did, and I didn't try to like keep taking medicine and then really end up in an episode of I didn't know I was pregnant, like giving birth on my toilet or something, even though like I knew my period was late, so I'm being dramatic, but you know. But yeah, so I just wanted to make this video to kind of like let y'all know like what the heck be going on and how it happened and how I found out, and not be telling y'all like one morning when I'm eating breakfast or doing a mukbang or something. Like, I want y'all to kind of like know when it happened, because I don't know if I'm gonna tell everybody immediately. I don't know how this is gonna go, because I know everybody gonna have a lot to say, and I really don't care because like nobody's raising my kids for me, but you know, people still have a lot to say. So mind your business. Don't let me hear you say nothing, because I'm not gonna be pregnant forever, and I will come and beat you up. And that's on gang, and that's on purd, and that's on you know what. Alright. Sorry, y'all. I don't know how to be serious. I don't really take nothing serious like I should. I mean, I do, but like not for myself. Like pain-wise and stuff, I don't think I'm gonna die, even though like I shouldn't, because I'm not. But I don't know. I never think I'm gonna die. Even when I was giving birth to my child, I didn't think I was gonna die. I mean, at the end, I did say, come on, give me a C-section, hurry up, I can't do this no more, because I was pushing for 2.5 hours, but that's a different story and a different video. But I hope y'all enjoyed this little, very embarrassing time of my life, because I look terrible, and this is like the lowest of the low, because I look a mess, and I keep looking cockeyed, but I'm not. That ain't cute. But thanks y'all for tuning in. I hope y'all liked this video. This is my first episode of I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant. This is part 1.